after taking about, I guess 13 years off from playing music, at the height of the network, when we just had toured with the Stones in 91 and 1990, we were doing all these magazine covers and all this crazy stuff, and it was too much pressure for me at the time, and I just really couldn't take how the business was. And so I quit the music business, and about 12 years later, after my father had passed away, I went down to India to kind of just find out what I wanted to do with my life, have some quiet time away from the internet and the cell phone. And I met these wonderful two Tibetan monks up in Dharamsala, India. One is named Lobsang and the other one is named Sonam. And they invited me out to lunch one day. I think they liked my haircut, basically. And we just started having these great conversations about science, about mathematics, about spirituality, and all the different religions in the world. And we decided we'd have lunch again the next day, and this turned into about 2 weeks of us getting together every day. Eventually, they just invited me to live at the monastery, so I lived up there for about 7 months with them. But when we washed our clothes in the stream, there was no electricity, right? So you wash your clothes in the stream coming down from the mountains, and you lay them out on the rocks, and while they dried, you would talk about Buddhism, or they would work on Tibetan throat singing. They taught me how to do that. And one day, Sonam, the younger monk, he was about 26 years old, I guess, at the time, he leaned over to me and he goes, Dan, do you know this song that goes, he started singing the drum beat to We Will Rock You to me. And I said, yeah, it's a song by this band called Queen from England, and it's called We Will Rock You. And I think to this day, he thinks actually the Queen of England wrote this song. And I was just amazed that, how do you know this song? And he said he had heard it one time on a tourist radio, and he wanted to know what this guy was singing about. So he wanted to know if I could teach him the lyrics to We Will Rock You. So I went down to an internet cafe, I printed out the words, and I started teaching them that, and they wanted to learn more rock songs, and they actually asked me what sex was like, because they've never kissed a girl before, and then, so basically I taught them about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And they taught me how to really appreciate doing music again, because I just was fascinated with the fact that here was this guy that all the way on the other side of the world, high up in the mountains, been a monk since he was 4 years old, and what he wanted to learn most was a Queen song. So I wrote this song here called On Your Side as a thank you letter to these monks, and I played it for them one day at the monastery. And I remember them coming up to me afterwards and saying, you know, you should really get out of this place and go play music. So I think they were just sick of me, basically. Angels on my shoulders tonight. Yeah, I'm on your side, and you've always been there, shining your lights for me. I've seen the monster's eyes under my bed. guess he's coming for my head. Pretend he's not there, and if he sinks his teeth in, I'll pretend I just don't care. And I've been out of my head now, but I'm coming home for good now, 'cause I'm on your side. Angels on my shoulders tonight. Yeah, I'm on your side. And you have always been there, shining your lights for me. You're the sun behind the clouds. You're the reason I dream out loud. You're the earth beneath the rain. The rain. Angels on my shoulder.